Is everybody only getting 1 second delay now? Okay, good. Alright. Yeah, that doggo is my Corgi Tucker. I wonder where he is right now. He's probably laying in the entryway. Yeah, so that is my Corgi Tucker. He used to lay on his back. He doesn't do that anymore. Whatever. Alright, back to work. There's currently an ad on my screen right now. I don't know why. Give me a second. There. It should be closed now. Alright. Came back. Whatever. Wait, what the hell? Whatever. It's a game model. I get it. Alright, let's see. So that's in the middle of the thigh. That's relatively where the knees... Actually, I think it's up further. Oh, that's right. I gotta have this there. You low-key hate BR. What is BR? What is BR? A lot goes into rigging something like this. Not really. Ultimately, all that goes into rigging this is setting the joints, setting the controls, and then setting the weights, which is essentially where I attach the skin to each joint. Let me see. So relative to this, it would actually be up. Up here. I have way too much screen time. I'm getting a headache suddenly. Whatever. And that's fine. Alright. Should be okay now. So let's reorient. The reason I'm reorienting is because that tells the joints how to relatively behave when they are moved. In terms of like FK controls, which is forward kinematics, which is pretty much like how... Here's an example. Right here, I'm clicking this joint, and I'm rotating it this way. It affects all these joints down the chain. That is what forward kinematics is. So, say I move the knee, that's going to affect it down there as well. Again, forward kinematics. Probably have to reorient that a tad bit. Maybe move it this way. Anyways, what was it? Oh, so normally in forward kinematics, FK, the joints move fine if they're like, unoriented. But in IK, which is inverse kinematics, which, say, how do I say this as an example? You know how when you're standing up, you can swivel your hips, you can move all around and dance them with your feet still planted? Well, that's sort of what inverse kinematics is. What's the song called? The song is... The song is, it's actually from Skyrim. I'm surprised. I don't know why. The original game soundtrack, the song is Jeremy Soul Skyrim original soundtrack. That's all it is. I probably should change it then. I don't know. Do you think I should change it? Oh dear. Should I take it off if it's Skyrim music? I don't want to get copyrighted. I'm scared. Whatever. I'm over it. Yeah, I don't know why Skyrim is playing. I typed in classical. How is it classical? Alright. Yep, too late now. You're right. Whatever. Alright, so let's see. Go back. So, yeah. Feet are planted on the ground. You can swivel your hips, but your feet won't move around. That's essentially what inverse kinematics is. So in inverse kinematics, that can actually make the joints go super wonky if they aren't oriented correctly. Basically telling the joints how to move. I could actually just quickly show you. Give me a second. Let me orient this. And what I'm going to do is give a quick IK handle. So, like I said before, this was FK, but IK is where you grab down here, and the joints before it move accordingly to fit that joint in that location. So you see, kind of like that. Get this nice little like locomotion movement. But that's not where I want the IK handle just yet. I want to make sure everything is perfect before I do that. And I'm actually thinking that this is not the best locale, so let's bring it down a little bit more. To know how to rig, you need to know your anatomy and understand that a good majority of animals, whether they be fictional or factual, share the same skeletal design and placement, actually. Lock some countries out on, but it should be fine. Maybe we'll find out. Yes, we will find out, and I will blame you if it gets taken down. Actually, it is recording on Twitch. So not in Streamlab. No, I did not hit record. Should I? I don't know.
You know what comes in handy? Knowing things ahead of time. For instance, if I knew ahead of time that this hot sauce was...
Okay, I'll type it for you then.
...scorpion peppers, I might have used a little less. Talk about an unwanted surprise. Like falling in love with a car before you know if you can afford it. Well, the online finance application at CarMax.com helps you get some of that finance stuff out of the way ahead of time, so you can avoid feeling burned. Refill, please. CarMax. Drive what's possible.
So is that okay, May?
Is coming to Disney California Adventure Park.
Darling, I want action.
We're going big.
Elegance.
I'm surprised I still have 17 viewers. Thank you all for sticking around.
The Incredicoaster is coming to Pixar Pier at Disney California Adventure Park, opening June 23rd. Bring your super family.
You do not hear ads. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. You don't hear ads. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. There. By the way, it is Italian summer. Interesting. Yes, this is not YouTube. It's actually Pandora. So yeah. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna try my best Omega impression. Alexa Kita has joined the fray. Thanks for following. That was terrible. Omega, I need you in here to do that. Anyways, I think my joint placement is... Ooh, hold on. I changed the delay, and I am not pausing and buffering myself. So, whoa, that is not good. So, it looks like I'll have to reorient a couple of these myself. Interesting. This is gonna be fun. Alright, let's do it. There you are. Come on. Stop it! Okay. No. Alright, why aren't you letting me select? Because you should... Oh, that's why. I know exactly why. Ah, boy. Give me a second. There we go. Now I should be able to. Instead, I should be... Nope. You know what? Let's do this. I'm going to put all these onto a layer. There. Okay, we'll work on it for next time. Ah, gosh darn it. Damn you. How long did it take to rig this beast? Well, my rigging time is generally 2.5 weeks non-stop. But because I'm only going to be able to stream this once a week, I kind of want to hold off for everyone to see the progress. Or I could stream outside. Why is it not allowing me to change? Come on. Oh boy. Anyways, let me see. I rated Mega Stream 18 plus. So yeah, it might take a lot longer than 2.5 weeks, because I gotta make sure that all the glitches are working properly. Local rotation axes, yeah. Why can't I try this? Joint and handles. Come on. You know, I'll just have to do that off camera because it's not wanting to behave. There you go. Okay, I got it. I gotcha. I gotcha now. Let's see. How do I want to do all this? So, let's do this. There you go. I'm doing with Y out, so I want with the Z as the pivot point, then I would actually want the Z as the pivot point. So I'll have to change it. There we go. Alright, checking the stream. How do you animate hair? Well, that can go one of many ways, actually. I can physically... Hold on, let me go back to smooth shade. Wait, no. There we go. So what I can do with the hair here, if it'll let me select it. Oh, that's right. Okay. So what I can do is put a joint chain in each and every single one of these hairs. I could also go to, say, like, end hair, which is essentially dynamics, and create a hair dynamic chain, which will allow these tentacles to essentially move with the curve that is the hair, or follicle, or whatever you want to call it. I just know the process, I just don't know the words off the top of my head. Or there's just so many ways I could do this. I could also just do like a single chain and attach several of these tentacles to it, and do another chain and attach several more, and just have them, you know, all at least flowing relatively. But if I did a joint chain for every single one of these, that could use up the joint limit that we have for games, which is around 255, and I don't want to do that. But what I can do is create a lot of joint chains and bind several individual hairs to that. And thus add controls or make them dynamic, yada yada yada. And that's pretty much how it works. But I'm not going to get to that until much later, because I want to get some word from Lee as to how he wants me to have that done. Actually, probably Reinfeld or whatever. I could also use cloth physics to do that as well. Make them just flow. But the problem with that is that dynamics do not transfer very well from Maya to Unreal Engine. So the physics will actually be done in Unreal Engine rather than here. Alright, back to rigging. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to upload a tool that I have saved on my flash drive. Oh, I don't want you to see this stuff. 'Cause reasons. Alright. There you are. And my shop. There you are. And let's open you up. And right click, open you with no, I want to search through Windows. There you go. Bring you over here. Control A, Control C. The quick meld tool to make this a lot easier. Save to the shelf. Save to the shelf is what I mean. There we go. Alright. And then, when I do this, I bring up the handle that I need. No! You will not see my folders. Do not see my folders. That's where I keep my pizza porn. Alright, let's go back to this. Come on, there we go. My toe actually might be off a little bit, so... gotta drag it. Wait a second. Rigging is all about fine-tuning and making sure everything works properly. Sorry, that was a little loud. Whatever. Man, this classical music is boring. Thought I set you to object, so why are you there? There you go. That's why, because it needs to update. Alright, go back. I see. In your face. Okay. In your face. What's going on here? Of course. One of the best things about Maya is that it rarely ever works the way you want it to. Oh wait, maybe I should just do it this way. Nope, that won't work. Alright, I tried. Come on.
You've
Come
hiked all
on.
day, climbing rocks, crossing over streams, and winding through dense pine. And then, through the clearing, you see the summit as the sun sets beyond
Sorry, I
the
watched
hills.
Jurassic
You
Park
think
last
to
night.
yourself, wow, this must be one of life's perfect moments.
Okay,
Because I can
and
get a
then
sweet
just
offer on
move
a
you back.
Mercedes-Benz I've wanted all summer at the summer event. Like the
Here,
2018
and
GLC
yeah, that's close
SUV.
enough.
Hurry into the summer event today. Once it's over, you'll
Yeah,
have plenty of
on the
time to
tab.
hike, climb, and see all the beautiful things.
Maya
that it has to offer.
is Maya.
Mercedes-Benz,
Yes.
the best or nothing.
Alright.
Leon, a
Back
witty
to
illustrator,
here.
used Squarespace to make his own website with
Come
an
on,
award-winning
there we go.
template. And while it took 96 spiral notebooks, 298 bar napkins, a social media post of a duck
go,
drawing
that's
with
the
6
pivot.
likes, and a post of a duck in sunglasses drawing with 6,995 likes for Leon to make it as
That's
an
actually very
illustrator, it
true.
only took Squarespace. And to make
There was
website
a
that captures it all. For
saying
whatever you make,
in my
make it
college
Squarespace. Start your free
department
trial today
when
using
we were
our
working
code
with this
Pandora
program.
to save 10%
If
on
Maya
your first purchase
ever
of your
acted
domain
up
or website.
and we could not figure out for the life of us as to why, we always had this one reason as to why it would be acting that way. And it would just be because Maya's being Maya. That's literally all we'd ever say. Oh! Is it working right? It's not working right. Do you know how to fix it? No. Is there no way to fix it? No. Well, then that's just Maya being Maya. That's what we'd say all the time. Alright. I'd say that'd be about there. Alright. And you, Mr. Nee, you're the one I'm most nervous about right now. Should I put on some classic rock instead then if the ads are more interesting? Alright, let's do some orientation. mentioned several times in the chat.
Simple 30-minute recipes that require minimal cleanup and
Let me
cost
see.
less than $10 a meal. Go to HelloFresh.com/Pandora to get $30 off your first box. That's HelloFresh.com/Pandora.
I have been... Let me see. I'm getting a lot of pings for some reason. I mean, not ping. Yeah, pings. I'm getting pings from Discord for some reason. I don't know why. I don't care right now. I'll deal with it later. Yes, I have a folio. But not everyone is allowed to see it. You need a password to see it. So, yeah. How's that? How's them apples? Screw it. I'll deal with that another time. Let me see. Okay. Okay, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. You're okay. There you are. Okay, good. Good, good, good. So now the transforms are looking better. That's what I want them to be. So if I do this... Frick! Don't touch that. Yes, he does send me inappropriate stuff. Since the stuff on my portfolio is currently still under NDA and they have not been released yet, so yeah, part of my agreement with them was that if I was going to have any of their stuff on my portfolio, it needs to be password protected. So yeah, thank you for defending me. All right, tail is in place. Overall skeleton is in place. So here's the cool part. Let me select all of these. At least show you what I just did and how it's going to affect the character in the long run. Let's turn off the LRA so it's not as distracting. Of course, when I do that, I have to do this and turn those off. All right. Are you ready for something really cool? So let's hide these, because we're not going to need these. And that. Because I don't want another eyeball incident. But for now, we're just going to use the basic Prime Boss rig model. And what we're going to do is we are going to attach the skin to the skeleton, or bind it. And I'm going to do geodesic voxel. Ooh, I got to be careful when I do this. So let's do all the way down to here. Make sure the end joints are not bound to it, because that is never a good thing. You generally don't want end joints to be attached to these kinds of things, because they're mainly just for pointers, and it's just more influence you have to worry about. So there we go. Alright. I have my joint selected. I have the mesh selected. Yes, the eyeball incident. Marco, that is a brilliant idea. Where's Flapjack? Hold on, let me see if he's online right now. It's Node. I've been... apparently I have something for my stream given to me by Node. Give me a second. I'm gonna check it out. That's so nice, Node. Thank you. Now I gotta figure out how to attach it, but you know what? I'll show it off. Look what Node made me. Isn't that cute? I love it. Thank you, Node. You're amazing. I don't care what Omega says about you. I don't know if Omega says anything about you. Alright. So I have my joints selected. I have the mesh selected. And here we go. Okay, geodesic voxel, selected joints. I'll tell you all about this later on. I don't care. Probably covered it in my first stream, but I forgot to hit record, so I'll have to share it again sometime. Make sure max influences is 4, because that is the minimum. Here we go. It is currently binding. Alright. And that's it. That's all it does. It gives the skeleton a beautiful rainbow color. That's all it does. Yep, nothing else. That's all it does. Nah, it does more than that. So I doubt the head will be a good example. But say I click the shoulder, and let's just say I want to lift his arm up. The arm moves. Now, not perfectly, because you see all this bulging and contracting. I'll have to go in and paint that out. But what I did was I bound the skin to the joints. So I say bend his elbow. And I can... Oh, I'll have to fix that. That's terrible. Because, see, now it's going to be hard to do it regularly without FK controls. Everyone's sending me something. Oh, Marco, you can send me a hug. But, yeah. So now his leg will bend and straighten. I'm actually doing this right now anyways, because I gotta see if my joint placement was correct. Looks like there's a lot of contraction there, so I'm gonna have to fix that, but whatever. So this is where weight painting comes into play. What weight painting is, let's turn this on for everyone. So for those of you just starting out, I highly doubt any of you are still new to this. You have polys. Obviously, these little faces. But what we also have are two other things. You have edges, which are the lines in between the polys, and vertices, which are the points where the edges all come together. Now, what binding a skin does is it tells each vertice how much each joint affects it via a number between 0 and 1. So, so it'll be like, say, this vertice right here. If I go up to here to show you exactly what I'm doing. Component editor, smooth skin. So, is it currently being affected by the lower leg of 0.495. And it's being affected by the thigh, 0.505. All out of 1. So it's a total of 1 of essentially how much, like it's actually attached to the skeleton, but each joint affects it to a different amount. So right now, the thigh affects it just over half as much as the lower leg does. But I generally don't want that. So I'd have to go in and do something special, which is called weight painting. This is where the artistic side of rigging comes into play. This is why we're still called artists, apparently. I don't know. See all that green? That green should not be affected by the thigh up here. It should actually be affected by the lower leg. Should. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be redoing this all again later on. But just as an example, wow, this thing is humongous. Let's set this to 20. There we go. Much better. You mean dab? I could, but I have to reset my joint orients. So I'm going to weight paint all this out. What I'm essentially saying is that all these vertices that I'm painting over it should be affected 0. Should have 0 influence from this joint. And should actually be affected by this joint. So basically below the knee. just quickly paint that out. It's not going to be perfect, of course. Weight painting is never perfect on the first try. Well, okay, it might be, but it rarely is. I just want to make sure that it's all looking good. Right? Then what I want to do is just smooth it out a little bit so it looks realistic. Smoothing is probably one of the most important things to weight painting, and it's the most common mistake I see on any rig, is that the rigger doesn't smooth the weights. And I don't know why, they just don't. I think they figure like, oh, I don't need to smooth the weights, it'll look fine without smoothing weights. Wrong! It'll look a lot better if you do. Alright. Let's see, you should make him dab. Yes. All day for me. I could make him dab all day for you, but I don't want to. Alright. So now, it's not going to be perfect still, I'll admit that right here and now before I show you, but it looks a little better. So I'll have to change this up here. So, as you can see, the knee is still affecting something up here. I don't want that. So now, I'll have to... Come here. Why are you coming there? That's weird. There you are. Yeah, look at all that influence from the lower leg. I don't want that. Let's take it off. Take it all off. Take it all off. Just not pretty when it's all on there. In fact, no, I'll do that another time. This is just the first of many videos, hopefully. Hopefully. Let's see. And I'll just worry about that later. This is just for an example. Right. And now, when I bend his leg, straighten it out, no effect. Some effect up there, but that's because I didn't look up there. So, let's go back up there, remove that, because the knee never affects something up as far up as that. Alright, looking at the chat. Nothing new. Keeping going. Keeping going. But what this tells me, I'm really glad that I'm doing this now, because this tells me that the knee joint needs to be a little further forward, probably. As you can see. But it doesn't affect the thigh anymore. So yeah, I will have to move the knee joints a little further forward, which is good. Yes, I know the dab thing was a joke. I was just teasing you. 12:29. Alright, 30 minutes. If you have any questions, get them in. Stretching again. How long have I been rigging? Or how long have I been doing this stream? Because this stream has been going on for an hour and a half now. Actually, give me a second. Let's go for another half hour. So, I've also been rigging for close to 3 years now. And that's still not enough for some studios. Anyways, yeah, I've been rigging close to 3 years now. I'll admit I'm not the best, but I'm definitely far from the worst. Far from the worst. I will be humble and tell you that I am far from the worst.
Cravings annihilated. Extra Man moves on to
I'm
the
gonna unbind this.
Yeah, now I'm thirsty for water or energy drink. Guess I'll head back to
Extra Mile extras every day at select Chevron locations.
Forward. There we go.
Have you heard about the new
I'm gonna
Pandora
delete this
Premium
side because I
Family
made
Plan?
that
For
change.
$14.99 per month, you get all the benefits of on-demand ad-free music for up to 6
And I'm gonna
family
have to
members.
rotate
That's as
you,
little
so
as
let's
$2.50 each per month. It's
delete
so
you.
easy. Everyone keeps their own account and their own music on one easy bill. Come try our top requested
I'm gonna have to
feature for
figure out how
yourself.
to.
Click the banner to get 60 days free.
Rotate your joints. I know how to fix that. Not thinking properly right now. All right. Let's go to you. Let's move you up. And right there. Oh, Mozart's on right now. How peaceful. Alright. Orient. Oh, that's right, I gotta move you up first. Go. Orient. There we go. Florida. Okay, and grab. Of course. Ugh. Wait a second. I'm trying to figure this out because it is misbehaving. Yes. Why are you misbehaving? There we go. Okay, let's... That doesn't work. Back to here. Rigging is not the same thing as animation. Yeah, you're new, so I'll just repeat it. Rigging is essentially giving the skeleton and controls to a character so that animators can actually move them properly. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. And that's what I'm currently trying to do. I'm trying to make sure that when the rig comes out, that that it will be animatable to the animators. And as long as I talk to the animators and communicate with them, the rig should be perfect for them. Communication is also key. All right. Jeez, I don't know why, but my manual orientation setup is not working properly, so I'll have to figure that out later on. Those are power points, line components, face components, hull components. Yeah, so I don't know why. Oh well. I'll just have to deal with it another time. And, ooh, I think there might be a deer outside my window right now. How exciting. I'm being told there is a deer outside my room right now. I gotta be extra quiet so I don't scare them. One of the perks of living where I live, you get to see beautiful wildlife right outside the window. Well, I'm being told that she is leaving the yard. Oh, she didn't? She probably heard me. Alright, so there's a few things going on with my Maya that I'll have to figure out later. So for now, I'll just continue rigging and not worry too much about that. Let's mirror this. Oh, sorry. Let's mirror this over. And just get ready to start putting in some controls. Before I do that, turn these off. Down here. Orient everything. Alright. So, let's create some controls. Of course it's super small. Because this thing is so freaking big. There we go. Let's turn that off for now. Close you, because I don't need you right now. Put you right there. And what I'm doing right now is I'm creating essentially a root control or a center of gravity or cog or whatever you want to call it. There we go. Just okay, so I'm going to be cutting the stream just a tad short here soon. I'm going to actually cut out here in like 10 minutes because I am being asked to go to dinner. I mean, lunch, so that's going to be fun. And let's do that. Communication is definitely key for a good product and a good project overall. You'd be surprised how many projects fail because of poor communication. Actually, you probably already know how many products have failed because of poor communication, mainly because of poor communication with the communities. But we don't want to do that here. We want to have good communication with our community. Alright, let's see where these... There they are. Alright, and bring you...
Oil.
And its transformations. Nope, that's a bad idea.